Hey there tadpoles, I am the Frog and today you are watching a video on TU17 and what's going to be in it. So that's right, today I'm going to go through all the features that I think will pretty much definitely be in TU17, and then later on in the video I'm going to also go through things that might be in TU17. It might be, it might not be, but anyway, the first half of the video I'll be talking about everything that I think is almost definitely going to be in TU17. Before we start, I just want to say all the things that I'm going to talk about today, I have a good reason for involving them in the video. You know, I've done my research, I've looked at what 4J Studios have done for previous updates, I've looked at the PC version, so I should be pretty accurate. Anyway, let's get started. Now the first thing I want to talk about is horses. Now before you click off the video because you think that there's no way horses is going to be in TU17, listen up. So my reasons behind this are quite good. Let's just say 4J have been dropping a few hints, and also they're very aware that everyone wants to see horses in the next update, so I genuinely think that they're going to bring horses forward and bring it into TU17. Now I really hope I'm not wrong, but I honestly think I'm right, and if you want to see a full explanation as to what kind of hints they've been dropping or why I think it'll be in TU17, then I will make a video another day, but it's not for this video because I haven't got enough time. But anyway, horses, donkeys and mules. Now they spawn in the wild and you tame them by trying to ride them, and they'll throw you off, and then you get back on and they'll throw you off again, and you keep doing it until they no longer throw you off, and that is how you tame them. Then you use a saddle to put on the horse, and then you can ride the horse and control where it goes and stuff like that. Now the point of them is that horses let you travel distances quickly, and donkeys can actually carry your stuff for you. You can load chests onto donkeys so that they have their own inventory, and therefore you can let them hold all your junk rather than you carrying it. So that's what horses and donkeys are. But that means 4J would also have to add hay bales, which is what horses and donkeys eat, I think, and leads as well, which is kind of like a rope where you tie one end to the horse and the other end to a fence post, and that way it can't wander off. Also, the spawn eggs for horses and donkeys, so you can spawn them in creative mode. And lastly, horse armor. This is iron, gold, diamond, and this time your horse wears it. And the point of that is, of course, it will protect your horse and make sure your horse doesn't die as easily. So yeah, that's all the things about horses. As I said, I'm going to be making a whole nother video on this. But anyway, moving on, also in TU17, I believe that the wither skeleton and the wither and everything else with it will also be in this update. Now the wither skeleton is like a normal skeleton, apart from it doesn't have a bow and arrow, and it's a dark grey kind of graphite colour, and also it's slightly taller than the normal skeleton. They only spawn in nether fortresses, and yeah, they use swords instead of a bow and arrow. Now when you kill them, they have a chance of dropping a stone sword, and they also have a chance of dropping a wither skull. Also, when the skeleton attacks you, it will probably put a wither effect onto you, which is kind of like a poison effect, but the poison is slower and it can actually kill you. So as I said, if it drops a wither skull, you can use the wither skulls to create the wither. Now the wither is a boss in Minecraft, kind of like the ender dragon, but it's a lot harder. You have to build the wither boss yourself firstly, using a T-shaped structure of soul sand, and then on top you need 3 wither skulls. Once you've done that, it will come alive, it will charge up its shields and health, and then it will send out an explosion, and then that's when your battle begins. Now it will fly around in the air and it will shoot projectiles at you, and when these projectiles hit you, they will also give you the wither effect, which like I said is like a slow poison that can kill you. Also, when the wither boss gets to half of its health, it will then become immune to arrows. So after that point you can only use a sword or TNT or whatever else you need to use to damage it. But yeah, it flies up in the air and shoots explosions at you, that's all there is to say really, and it's really hard to defeat. Also, it constantly regenerates its health. Anyway, once you've killed the wither boss, it will drop a nether star. Now the nether star only has one use, and that is to craft a beacon with. You can also use it as a trophy, but you know, you might want to craft a beacon instead, it's a bit more useful. So a beacon, also going to be in TU17. You use a nether star to create it, and once you've created it, you then need to surround it by a certain block, either iron blocks, gold blocks or diamond blocks. Once you've done this, your beacon can now function, and what it does is it grants you a certain power. There are powers such as smite, jump, speed, stuff like that, where they give you different characteristics, such as you can run faster or something like that. So once you've done that, you then have to purchase a power using either a diamond, an iron ingot or a gold ingot or any of that kind of stuff, and then you will have that power as long as you are nearby the beacon, but you cannot go out of range. Now to increase the range, you can create like a pyramid out of the blocks underneath the beacon, and that will boost its range. So yeah, they're quite complicated. If you don't understand, you need to look it up on YouTube because it's there's a lot to it. Also in TU17, I I think that witches and witch huts will be in there. Witches are hostile mobs. They spawn in the swamp biomes and they always live in a witch hut. They will throw splash potions of poison, slowness, instant damage and weakness at you, and when you're attacking them they start drinking potions of health and fire resistance, so they're even harder to defeat. So yeah, they spawn in swamp biomes and they attack you. Also they look kind of like NPC villages. Another thing in TU17 I think will be the bat. Now the bat is a pretty much pointless mob, doesn't give you anything. I think it might give you XP but I doubt it. But basically they spawn in low light levels, any place that's dark, and when you're not near them they'll hang upside down off the ceiling, and when you go near them they'll jump off and start flying around and being annoying. So yeah, that's what the bat is. I don't think they drop anything. They might drop XP, I'm not sure. Also, the book and quill might be in TU17. Now it might be, it might not be, because the book and quill is pretty much very useful for PC because you know, like adventure maps and all that, the creators want to put a little story or a little tutorial in the book and quill. But on the console I don't really know how useful it will be, so I don't know whether 4J will add that or not. But basically the book and quill is a book that you can write in. I think there are 50 pages that you can fill and you can just write your text in there, whatever you want. Next up, the pumpkin pie. It's just a pie made out of a pumpkin, some sugar and an egg, and it's a type of food, so yeah, I think that will be in TU17 as well. And lastly, fireworks. Now this one I'm not 100% sure on, but it might be, you know. Fireworks are crafted with gunpowder and paper, and you know, it's just a bit of fun. You know, it's good for putting on a show or having a bit of fun, I don't know. But yeah, you can make loads of different fireworks, different colours, and you can even make like a creeper shaped one. They're pretty cool. So yeah, that was the first half of the video. Now I really quickly want to go through the second half of the video of things that I think might be in TU17. First up is the trapped chest. It's like a normal chest, but when you open it, it sends out a signal, and this can be linked up to redstone, so you know, it can be a trap, so when someone opens up that chest it fires an arrow at them or something like that. Secondly is the hopper and the dropper. Now like I said, I'm not sure these things will be in TU17, but there is a possibility. The hopper and dropper, I don't really have a clue, but I think the hopper picks up stuff and you can connect it to a chest so that when you drop it on the hopper it will just go straight into your chest, so that's quite cool. And the dropper, I don't know, I guess it's the opposite of that. The weighted pressure plate is not an ordinary pressure plate, so it won't become active when you just drop one thing on it. You might have to drop a certain block on it or a certain amount of blocks on it for it to actually activate. Also the TNT minecart, it's basically where you can put TNT inside a minecart and send it down a hill and blow up all your friends, so that would be quite cool. The daylight sensor, which activates when it's nighttime, so you can connect it up to some redstone lamps, and then when it becomes nighttime your lamps will come on. Also the block of redstone, now I think this is going to be very useful, and basically it's where you can turn your redstone into block form, so you know, it takes 9 redstone to make a block, and that's just going to make it so much easier to store in chests because you get so much of it and it just takes up your whole chest, so I hope that will be in there. So yeah, they were some of the maybes. Now I'm not sure about them, but the first couple of things that I gave you, such as, you know, the horses and the witches and stuff like that, I think all of that is pretty much definitely going to be in TU17. Obviously don't quote me on that because we're not sure, but I'm just saying I've done my research and I think that that is very likely to be in it. So thanks a lot if you're still here and watching this video and you made it to the end, and if you really enjoyed, make sure to slap that like button to let me know that you enjoyed the video, but if you don't want it, that's fine. Also, before you go, make sure you just comment in the section below, out of all the features that I just read out, what feature do you want to see the most? What are you most excited for out of all of them? For me, it's not actually horses, it's actually the wither. I'm more excited about the wither than I am horses, so let me know in the comment section below. Also, subscribe if you haven't already to become a tadpole, and favourite the video if you're a #TrueFrog. You know, go the extra mile. Lastly, make sure to check me out on Twitter and Facebook at The Frog Squad and www.facebook.com/The Frog Squad. So that's about it from me. Thanks a lot for watching everyone, and until next time, I'll see you later, frogs.